Andreas, the day is finally almost upon us, round one of the 2025 season. Talk to me a bit about pre-season, how everything's gone, how excited you are to get underway.
Yeah, really excited. It's been a tough pre-season, very young squad this year, so I've had to kind of set in some new standards. But it's been a really fruitful pre-season. The boys have worked really, really hard and grown a lot already. And yeah, just really excited to see how they cope with senior football, and yeah, it's been good.
You mentioned it's a young squad. You obviously led the 23s last season to the club's first ever Academy League title, taking a number of those players up into hopefully a more regular role in the senior team. Obviously a number of them already had some experience with the senior team as well. How excited are you for that, to see the continued progression of players through the various teams in the academy?
Yeah, I think it's pretty emblematic of this club, really. You see what's happened with our scholars this year and all the young players that progressed up from the seniors last year. And it's the same for those 23s boys and some of the 18s boys from last year. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how they progress. I think we've also got to be patient in the same way. I think what happened last year was amazing. Like, it was freakish in some senses. The collective performance of the senior team and some of the individual development led by Diogo was phenomenal. Like, I don't think we'll see it quite to the same degree yet. We've still got a bit of time, but yeah, I think it's really, really exciting to see those young players coming through, and it helps, of course, like, one, being so involved across all the ages from the 17s up to the A-League team, to see that progression and help align things as well as possible. And equally, it helps to have worked with those players in the past, so I've got a good relationship with them, so it makes it a little bit easier to connect with them and hopefully get across some of the messages that we want to deliver.
Talking about that success of last year's senior group, it'd be difficult to expect another 7 first-team contracts coming out of this year, but what does that do for young players at this club that see the progression, see that the pathway is there, not only to just be given a contract for contract's sake, but look at the players that have signed scholarship deals in this season and the success that they're having, playing regularly, starting, coming off the bench, having impact, scoring goals. What does that do for the group for this year and beyond? This is a destination club to come and develop and become a professional.
I think it's pretty inspirational for the boys. I think they all see the carrot, and we can look at the A-League team, how the scholars perform there and the boys from the academy perform there. It's been phenomenal. Of course, it's really clear with their individual and collective performances. But one thing I keep re-emphasising to the boys, you can see it as well when they're not involved, the way that they train, like how hard they work. Like, it's incredible. Like, when some of the boys come and play with me, the example that they set, and it's testament to the A-League staff, the way they operate. I think that's probably the best example for the boys, because I think sometimes, it's amazing what we do here. We are a beacon of hope for a lot of youngsters. I think sometimes they see the shiny things and they're starting to get it, but they maybe haven't seen in the past how hard some of these young players have worked. And I think that's what's really, really exciting, is not only their football performances, our young players in the first team, but who they are as people, led by the A-League staff and also the club from up above. There's a very clear idea as to the sort of people that we want to develop as well. And so that's what's just as exciting for me. Obviously, you bear the fruits of it on the pitch. Like, you get to see those players come into their own in senior football matches. But what's just as exciting, if not more, is you get to see the growth from those players personally as well, the way they take feedback, the way they recover from setbacks. And yeah, I find that probably the most inspirational part of what the club's doing, and what my job is really, to see that when things click, yeah, it's really, really exciting.
Talking about that sort of honour and that part of your role, talk to me a bit about how you like to be as a coach, your philosophy and your experience in the past as well, and how it's tied into that. Obviously, I know you've done a lot of studying around the psychology and the mental health side, and you have a role at the club connected to that as well.
Yeah.
How does that all sort of formulate the coach that you are and the philosophies that you have?
Yeah, this is a big challenge here, because there's so many different factors that have, I guess, contributed to my identity, which is pretty synonymous with who I am as a coach. I feel like, yes, you're driven by performance and metrics, but at the end of the day, I think it's my experiences previously and off the pitch shape the way that I want to work with players. I think that's pretty aligned with the club. Like, I'm the sort of person that kind of, I can't really work if I'm not surrounded in a really, really top environment. When I say top environment, an environment that suits me, there's so many top environments, but for me, I'm very much aligned with the club's charter. I guess those sets of values. Very, very big on long-term development and creating a sense of togetherness. I think those are the things that kind of living in the light for me. Like, those are the things that really, underpin the way that I want us to be on and off the pitch. And you can talk about game models and methodology and that, but I mean, everyone talks about wanting to play exciting football. Like, you hear a lot of buzzwords. I go back to those key anchors of who we want to be as people. And for myself, I'd like to try and act with integrity, and I'd like us to try and play our football in the same way. In terms of my experience, I've been very fortunate as a failed academy player to be in some top environments across my junior life, and never kind of getting to that next level. But then that opened up a pathway for me to go to some fantastic clubs, and I've been in some very, very fantastic elite environments across my coaching career. And now for me, sounds pretty cringe, but I feel like I'm home. Like, every day I just look forward, whether it's going to A-League training, talking with the A-League staff, or the 23s senior staff, or the 17s, or the 16s, across the entire academy, like even the office staff. Like, it feels amazing to be here. So I guess it's just, it feels like a bit of a perfect match. And then in terms of my experiences outside of football, I'm completed 2 degrees in psychology. I'm completing my master's at the moment, which is on hold for a little bit whilst I try and really give everything to this role. I think that's also played a heavy part in how I want to interact with players and how I want us to be on the pitch. I want us to be very conscious of our psychology and some of the social factors that influence football players and football teams, and I'd like to think that it gives me a little bit of an edge, not as much as people think. I think at the end of the day, experience does that, but the study and all the theory, it doesn't do anything bad, that's for sure.
I love it. You touched on there those buzzwords. Everyone says they want to play on the front foot, fast-paced attacking football, etc. So I'll ask a bit of a question that might bring that cliche out of you, but we, for the last couple of years, we've had a really great presence of the dedicated fans and members that will watch the first team games that come out and support the academy as well, whether it was back at Georgie's or the other venues that we've played at. Now that we're here at Ironbark Fields, I'm sure and looking even at our home opener, doubleheader before the big game against Auckland, a huge opportunity fans to come out and watch. So long-winded way of getting at last season under Diogo, the senior team scored the most goals of any senior team in the whole state. With that exciting football and obviously the players that have now transitioned into the first team. Are you hoping to bring, I guess, that similar level of excitement to hopefully wow the fans and get them behind this team?
Well, at the end of the day, like who we are as a club, and the football that we want to play, that front foot, aggressive, attacking football, that's filtered from the club through to the A-League and through to the rest of the academy. So everything we do aligns with the A-League men's team. So for us, yes, like of course we tinker with things. We don't want to compromise maybe certain individuals like with systems and stuff, but at the end of the day, the principles and a lot of the structures are all identical. And it has to be that way. That's why that's why Diogo did such a phenomenal job, and that's why there's so many players, scholars, because we've aligned so closely. And I think that's what's given our club the most success, is that key alignment. So just watch our first team and hopefully you'll get a good idea of what we're going to do this season. And it's a high standard that they set last year, but I'm definitely confident that whether the numbers are the exact same, the intention to get into the same areas to increase the probability of achieving those numbers, it won't be any different, and it can't be, because that's who we are as a club. And for us to divert from that, I wouldn't be doing my job well, and we wouldn't be developing the players for the first team as best as possible.
I love it. And just one final one, mentioned the fans that come out and support there. What's your message to them to come out and get behind the team throughout the season? I mentioned obviously the big home opener leading into the Auckland game next week, but it's a long season in the academy. It's just as long, if not longer, than the first team season. What's your message to them to come out regularly, see the next generation as they have in the last couple of years?
Well, I think what's been so special with our fans and our club is, like, it is a family club. Like, I know everyone says that again, but like I don't personally see as many clubs trying to engage with the community like we do, trying to represent a region of Victoria in the way that we do. And I'm hoping that if fans come to those games, that they can feel that same sense of belonging that they feel when they watch our senior men's and senior women's teams. And I guess hopefully we can reciprocate with good performances following the support. And what also helps is we're going to go to some volatile places, which we love. It's going to be a really great challenge. The NPL clubs always pose fantastic challenges, and so do their fans. So it'll be nice to have some sort of competing force there to help us support the boys, because there's going to be moments where we need that energy, where we need that support from our fans. And I think in those difficult moments, if they're there behind us, I feel like these young players have never experienced that before. So the energy that they'll receive from that will be absolutely phenomenal.